All right. Hello, everybody. This is a special edition of the 2020 Designs Trends series. We're going to be focusing on lighting, and we're going to do a little dive into the trends that we're seeing emerging in 2022 for lighting. Some of the things that we've seen, catching on already. Some of the things we're growing. Some newer things that we're seeing in lighting. My name is Keith Clark. I'm the product manager for Task Lighting. And so I'm going to take you through this. These are the trends as reported by the National Kitchen and Bath Association. But you're also going to see them popping up everywhere right now because these are the things that people are talking about, what we're seeing most in homes. So I'm going to just dive right in here and get started. The first one that I want to talk about today is tunable white lighting. So we're going to focus this conversation around LED lighting because the number one trend in homes and lighting in kitchens and home spaces is 100% LED lighting. They're just simply very efficient, very easy to maintain and install. So they've just kind of become the go-to in these home spaces. So we'll focus around that. And the first feature of an LED lighting installation you're seeing in homes these days is tunability. And this is what's really, really catching on. So when I talk about tunable white, typically, when you're installing a light, you've got a single color light that's going to either be a warm light or a cool light or something neutral. Tunable white light allows you to have the flexibility to change the Kelvin temperature or the warm or cool color of lighting after it's already been installed. So it's not a static thing. It's not a set thing. You can change. Looking at the image below, you've got 2,700 Kelvin, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, all the way from a warm to a cool Kelvin temperature in a kitchen. And tunable white lighting allows you to achieve all of those. So it's a beauty of this technology as it emerges to be able to have that freedom to change it, right? There's no longer a need to pick the color of the lights beforehand. That flexibility, that decision now lies with the customer. So it's a really nice growing trend to end up with better spaces because the customer ends up with the look that they want, the flexibility that they want. Another word that you're hearing a lot about when it comes to tunable white lighting is circadian rhythms. And it fits right into this as we transition our homes to organic spaces, natural spaces that match the rhythm of the human body. Tunable white lighting is great for this because you can match your lighting to the light of the sun outside. So, in an evening time, maybe it's getting the sun's going down, you've got a warmer light, calmer, relaxing feeling. Whereas opposed to the middle of the day when the sun, is at its highest point, maybe you want that cooler lighting, to match the brightness and the feel of that lighting outside. So that's the benefit of tunable white lighting, and that's why it's catching on and growing more and more. Maybe you haven't been asked about it yet. Maybe you're already doing it quite a bit. It's lagging in certain regions, but we're seeing overall a trend towards that tunable white lighting. All right, moving on. Let's talk about smart home control when it comes to lighting. And this is a big one. This is an absolute top of the list for the National Kitchen and Bath Association. What they're seeing is connected homes. As everything in the home starts to talk to each other, work together, integrate to kind of become a single functioning unit, lighting is no different, right? This trend is extending out to lighting, and you're starting to see much more often now lights like, if you think of Philips Hue bulbs that go in kitchens now that are allowed, they can change, they can dim, all, at command of a voice. If you're talking to an Alexa or Google Home or you're using the Philips Hue app, things like that, this is what we're seeing more and more and more of. And now this lighting technology can extend to things like your under cabinet lighting, your interior cabinet lighting. There's lots of lighting out there now that is smart home compatible. And now you're talking about giving a voice command and turning the lights on and off, dimming the lights up and down. And if we go back to what we just talked about with tunable white lighting, now you can change the temperature or the color of the lights just with a voice command. So you can walk in if it's evening time and say, Alexa, make the lights warm white, 50% brightness. And just like that, now your lights are adjusted. You'll get the ding of acknowledgement that Alexa gives, and the lights will change to the request that you've given. So smart home control is a big one that's coming up. Lighting is no stranger to that. So as technology advances, so does lighting. It's a very fast-moving category. All right, next let's talk about layered lighting. Now, when we talk about layers of lighting, you've got your typical ceiling lights that you're familiar with. Take a look at this image here. You've got can lights in the ceiling that provide light to this room. But now look at all these additional layers of light that are being added in here. You've got lighting over the crown molding. You've got lighting under the cabinets, interior cabinets, shelf lighting, pendant lighting over the islands, and then now toe kick lighting and island lighting itself. So there's so much going on in this. And obviously, this is an extreme example. You're not always going to need this many layers, this many things. But that's what's really cool for you as the designer to decide what's going to make your space look more appealing, to feel more comfortable to your customer. If there's someone they're bright, they've got a lot of energy, they want to light the room up, that's great. But if they want something that's more accent, something that really dials it down, but still looks very nice, that's where your decisions come in. And so there's a lot more to choose from these days when it comes to lighting. Obviously, there's so many more spaces that are being lit up now, and so it give you that wide range of control to create a really unique space. Because maybe in this kitchen you're doing pendant lights and under cabinet lighting, maybe in this one you want the whole shebang. So it's something to remember, and this extends into the rest of the home as well. What are you seeing more of? And you're seeing wall sconces making a comeback in lots of places. People are putting in these mid-level lights instead of just having the ceiling light that lights the whole room up. Now you've got lights on walls, more fixtures in more places, and these layers are starting to appear where the lighting is being split and broken up to create different effects and I guess transform spaces. So this is another big trend that we're seeing, and it obviously is going to have a lot of effect on lighting. Next up, bathroom accent lighting. So this is another big one that we're seeing coming along as customers and homeowners are moving more towards this, almost like a demand for a spa-like experience in their bathroom. They want to feel pampered. They want this feeling. So lighting is becoming a big factor of that. And you can see here in the images I've got below, you've got some floating shelves with some lighting here, just right over that bathtub to create a nice, comfortable feel. On the right side, you've got lighting all the way around, lighting shining down into the tub, lighting shining around the tub to illuminate that space. And people are putting this lighting in showers and things as well now too. So what's the biggest key when you're looking for lighting in bathrooms? If you're adding lighting to bathrooms, think about waterproof ratings on that light, because these are wet spaces. You've got steam, you've got splashing water, you probably got kids running around in there in certain situations. And so you're going to want these lights to be protected and durable, so they'll last a long time and you don't end up with problems on your hands. So be looking for a waterproof rating. Be familiar with what's called an IP rating, an ingress protection rating. Look for lights that have those on those. That's very important, and we're seeing that growing as the bathroom lighting catches on. So the last two trends I want to cover are they're design trends that we're seeing growing, with homes they still have lighting implications, right? They're going to affect how lighting is in each space. So the first one here you can see is outdoor living spaces. As homes start to add on these outdoor spaces, people are spending more time outdoors, getting more of the fresh air. They want that comfortable feel outside. Usually want to be covered under some kind of porch or something like that. But these hybrid spaces are becoming more and more popular. They're growing all the time as people start to want that natural feel to their home. And that means lighting. Lighting these spaces is becoming more and more important. You can see in this image below, you've got this really, really beautiful back porch overlooking the lake, but it's got some nice lighting around that cove to keep an atmosphere. So after that sun goes down and it's dark outside, you still have the illumination back there on the porch. Creates a really nice space. And we're seeing this very, very commonly when people are creating these outdoor spaces. People putting lighting in their backyards around rock paths or around the edges of pools and things like that. And so that's a big one, outdoor living spaces. And finally, another trend that's affecting lighting is the growing demand for flexible spaces in the home, right? So spaces that, can morph and change to what you need them to be, right? Whether it's an office desk, whether it's a place to relax, in my own home, right? Where a dining room table used to sit, there's now an office, a study that's been created in that space. So being able to change those spaces into what the homeowner wants at any given time is really important. And that is going to affect the lighting that goes into those spaces. So you have to think about that. If a space is going to be a dual purpose for eating and relaxing, or working and relaxing, or something like that, it's great to have light that can dim up and down. It's great to have light that's tunable, that you can change and alter based on the mood of that space. And so be thinking about lighting that is as flexible as the space that it's going into. And that's a really important thing with these growing trends and the changes, and people want that versatility. So lighting should be versatile as well, and that's what you should be looking for as we move into 2022. Okay, so to summarize everything, we talked about, um, big trends coming up in lighting are the tunable lighting, smart home control, layered lighting, and bathroom accent lighting. Those we'll be seeing a lot more of coming up in 2022. And then don't forget the impact of outdoor living spaces and flexible living spaces on lighting, and how you're going to have to think about those areas a little harder when it comes to lighting them properly. And so that's kind of brings me to the end of the presentation of what I wanted to talk about today. I appreciate you sticking around and listening in, for this, 2020 Design Trends series. I'll, add a quick reminder. Uh, Task lighting is now integrated into 2020 Design's Lighting Wizard. So if you're looking for an easy way to get into lighting, somewhere that'll automatically just drop in some lighting to your layout, your kitchen, your spaces like that, look to that Lighting Wizard. Check it out. It's a really, really cool tool, and we're so happy to be partnered with 2020 and featured in that space. But overall, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and have a good day.